All right. Welcome to the Maximum Edge Sports Wagering Show. My name is John Santucci. Call me Tooch. I got Anthony here with me, and I got a super special guest. We got Matt Perrrault from the Daily Juice, a guy whose show I watch every morning, first thing. Matt, thank you so much for joining us. Talk a little Monday Night Football.
Well, thank you for the invite, guys. Happy to be here.
And Anthony, how are you doing today?
Oh, it's Monday. I mean, Monday. I love my Monday Night Football. I'm excited.
Right, and then good day yesterday wagering for Matt.
For me, yeah, yesterday wasn't bad. Ended up going 2-1 on my full unit plays and 2-2 with props, but I got a Rob Gronkowski anytime touchdown for plus 140 that put me in the black there. So overall, a winning day, not a huge day, but a winning day. So I can't complain.
Very nice, Anthony. How'd we do yesterday? How'd VIPs do?
Not too shabby. Dolphins won our 10-unit bomb. We lost our teaser with the Bucks -1.5 and the Vikings -1. I don't have to explain much more on that.
I also had the Dolphins big as well, but 6-0 yesterday in college hoops for me.
Nice.
So overall 8-2, 2-2 in the NFL, 6-0 in college hoops. My favorite time of the year, college hoops. But tonight we are going to talk a little Monday Night Football. We got the Patriots at the Bills. This is their first meeting of the season. Patriots, I think it's 3 now. The line is Patriots +3, Bills -3. Over under is 40.5, I think, as we're sitting there, right? All right. And Patriots 8-4, Bills 7-4. Patriots also 8-4 against the spread, and Bills 6-4-1 against the number. Over under for these teams about even. Away on the road, Patriots are 4-1 against the number. Before I ask you, I know who you like. You're a longtime New England, Boston area guy. Your thoughts on it?
I should have worn this hat.
The classic.
I should have just worn that and really out myself.
That is what I grew up on, though. That was the helmet,
Pat the Patriot. Let's go.
Back then. And of course, you talked a little bit about the weather in Buffalo today. Your thoughts, Bills Patriots tonight? Real
Look,
quick.
I mean, being in a guy in Des Moines, Iowa Hawkeye football. This is an Iowa Hawkeye football game. Okay, we're going to line up mano a mano. Who gets to blow the other guy off the ball? Okay, who is the stronger offensive line? Who is the stronger defensive line? Who is able to play power football because no one's passing in this weather? The wind gusts are sustained 25 to 35 miles per hour. That's my key number when it comes to betting unders. If you get 30 mile per hour sustained, not gusts, but sustained winds, it's just blowing all day long in Des Moines and in Iowa City or Ames. You guys are well aware of what that's like to play football in Lincoln or whatnot when you're playing with wind gusts that are just sustained. Then you got the 40 to 45 mile per hour gusts. Now you're talking about blowing the football all over the place. There's video out right now of the uprights literally bending in the wind right now for this game, okay? The Bills can't run the football. Josh Allen is the only person who can run the football. Matthew Judon and company for the Patriots are going to slam this team tonight. This is not going to be a blowout game. It's going to be one of those games where the scoreboard won't be as indicative as to what happens on the field, but the Patriots are the more physical football team on both sides of the ball, and this weather is perfect. This is what the Patriots are built to do, not the Bills. The Bills are a dome team. The Bills want to go back and whip it around and throw the ball deep and throw to Beasley, and they can't do that tonight. They're going to have to run the football tonight. And Josh Allen is not good enough to beat the Patriots by himself running the football. If he does, he'd get hurt. I think he's throwing picks tonight. I think he's forcing it with the wind. Ball's going to sail. Patriots win this game outright.
That's my inclination too, is the Patriots, but usually when I have a strong inclination like this, it goes the other way. But you're definitely right. It's the Bills cannot run the ball. They don't have a standout running back. They've had running back issues. Like you said, Josh Allen does it all with his legs. And with the wins, they're not going to be able to do it. Anthony, your thoughts and a question for Matt, if you have it.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at the big picture on this. I really feel that Bills win in Buffalo. and I really do feel the Patriots win in Foxborough. In this game, I mean, the Patriots are the hottest team going in the team. They have the perception to win this game. I mean, I don't disagree with your analysis on the game, but I don't think Mac Jones is going to do any better. I think Josh Allen is actually an advantage in this game compared to Mac Jones just because he's more mobile. It is going to be an ugly, ugly game. What I was just looking at while you were talking is I remember betting on a game very similar last year. It was the Raiders and the Browns in Cleveland last year, and it was basically the same amount of wins. 20. I don't know if you guys remember. I bet the over in that game. I bet the over, and then I was like, oh no, oh no, that game.
We lost him there for a second. Matt, you're still with me?
Froze it. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, I get what he's saying. I mean, I remember the game, but the difference is that Vegas is a warm weather dome team. This is not the Patriots are on the road. It would be one thing if you had the Browns. You know, the Browns are at home. They're accustomed to running the football and playing that style, and the Raiders really were not. I mean, I remember Josh Jacobs had a pretty good game in that game running the football, if I remember serves me correctly, for the Raiders. So they tried to go smash mouth and run the football, but the Patriots are built for this. I mean, Stevenson and Harris are going to get the bulk of the carries tonight. And this is where I think Mac Jones, he says he's a detriment. The Patriots dink and dunk. They don't throw anything deep.
That's what I was thinking.
This is perfect, right? The wind's not going to matter. If you're 10 feet from me, I'm throwing the ball. The wind's not going to take the ball anywhere. It might make it flutter, but it's not going to send the ball out crazy if you're throwing a fly pattern down the sidelines. So to me, I find it, the dink and dunk offense for the Patriots is perfect for this weather. It's much more. I think Mac Jones is much more suited for this type of game than Josh Allen is.
It's a rock fight,
which is what the Patriots always want.
What the Patriots want, right? Exactly. Yeah. Which quarterback is this game too big for? Mac Jones or Josh Allen?
I mean, everyone is saying that Mac Jones has not played in this type of weather, and I'll give you that, okay? But look, I don't think. And maybe I'm dead wrong. Maybe he'll be freezing cold and he won't be able to figure it out. But I mean, they played in weather before. Maybe not wind, but they played in weather before. I mean, everybody, no matter where you grow up, you go around the country and you play different games in different environments. And I just think the weather play for Mac Jones, I think it's overselling it a little bit until we actually see what the kid does. And again, it's dinking and dunking, and it's not anyone. He's not being asked to throw the ball 40 times tonight. This is going to be a run-heavy offense for the Patriots. A lot of screen passes, a lot of jet sweeps, and things of that nature. So I'm not concerned about Mac, really, unless the Patriots get down by 2 scores. And then it's going to be a little more of a difficult situation for the Patriots to come back.
Right. I'm not too concerned about injuries either. I'm sure all these guys who are questionable will play, but to be honest, the Patriots a little more banged up than the Bills. The Bills don't really have any notable injuries. The offensive line of the Patriots has got some guys questionable. In fact, the Bills' kicker is questionable too. I think all these guys are probably going to play. So I didn't take it into consideration when capping this game.
No, there's nothing to worry about. I mean, the Patriots line's healthy. The most important thing was getting Trent Brown back and having that running attack go. I mean, Damian Harris last year ran for 102 yards in this game at Buffalo, and the Patriots had a chance to win the game driving late, and Cam Newton fumbled at the 20-yard line that blew the game when they were down by 3 points. So that game should have gone to overtime and/or Patriots winning it outright. So, and that was with Cam and a defense that's not nearly as good as this defense. So, I mean, Patriots have covered 6 straight games. They're catching 3 points on the road. It's kind of like, I'm not directly comparing it to Bama and taking Bama with points, but you are getting the Patriots. You're getting the Patriots with points. It's like you're getting Belichick on the road in a must-win huge game with points against a quarterback he's done a pretty good job against. I don't know. I think it's real hard to lay off that.
I'm with you. I love the Patriots. I'm on the Patriots side. The last time these two teams played, I think the Bills won 38-9 or something. End of December last year, was it?
In Foxborough.
In Foxborough, right.
Which Patriots, goes back to my point.
I remember that ass whipping. Right.
They do, but I still think that I think Patriots win tonight. I actually think the Buffalo Bills, if the weather is okay in Foxborough for the next meeting after in 3 weeks, I think the Bills can win that game.
Yeah.
I mean, if they have a pristine conditions and it's nice and it's 40 degrees and there's no wind, that's when you can put points up on this defense and you can cause problems. The weather here for the Patriots is shaping up perfectly for them, and then the Bills go to take on the Bucks next week. So, I mean, they could lose back-to-back games here and then walk into Foxborough with their entire season hanging, and then I think the Bills would win that game. So I actually like the road team to win both these games, Patriots tonight and then the Bills in Foxborough.
So here's a couple trends in this series that's going to back basically everything. The Patriots are 14-3 against the spread in their last 17 meetings in Buffalo. Underdog is 3-1-1 against the spread in their last 5 meetings. But the Patriots are 1-3-1 against the spread in their last 5 meetings, which, I mean, we know the Patriots were rebuilding the past couple of years. And the road team is 22-8-2 against the spread in their last 32 meetings, dating back all the way from Tom Brady years. But everything backs the Patriots. My only concern about Buffalo, and I couldn't agree more with you, Matt, is Buffalo doesn't have the running backs to run the ball. Singletary, there's not that running back. The Patriots have like 6 guys. I mean, the depth chart is ridiculous. Who they could run the ball with. So, advantage running the ball by far is the Patriots. So,
right. And so a low-scoring game, a low-scoring defensive battle favors the Patriots. A high-scoring, wide-open game, and it's the Bills all day long. So that's why I think in Foxborough, if the weather is different, that's where Josh Allen goes to work. And look, the Patriots at home this year haven't been great. So they've been better on the road than they have been at home. So that's why I think there's the real potential for the Patriots to go win bye week and then have a chance potentially to see Buffalo and maybe lose that game.
How fortuitous is it that Mac Jones fell into the Patriots' lap at number 15? Because I loved him for the Bears. You know, we got Justin Fields, which is great. I love Justin Fields too. But you know, the luck continues. You know, they just picked up a guy that fits their system perfectly. Smart, makes great decisions, places the ball. I love where his ball placement is perfect, where the receivers can do something with it, and that's rare.
Yeah. That was the thing in Alabama that I kept on, because I covered Bama for 5 years, so I tend to watch like every Bama game that I can. And the thing that was so incredible about the ball placement on the deep ball was it was so on point. And everybody was like, oh, it's the receiver. I'm like, yeah, but he's hitting these guys. Devontae Smith is catching this ball in stride.
Yeah.
Like he's not breaking stride, and he's walking into the end zone because the ball is right where it needs to be. And I kept on looking back going like, why aren't we talking about Mac Jones as a top 10 pick? And everyone's like, yeah, but he's pudgy and he looks like a dork. And like, he's so unathletic. And I'm just like, we still haven't learned this, huh? I mean, Tom Brady looked like a flower coming out of Michigan.
Yeah. I think of those pictures, you know, the uncut body, the doughy, regular guy body, the dad body.
Right. It just goes to show you, go back and like, I'm watching Man in the Arena, which is
still nothing special.
Right.
He's in a lot better shape now.
I'm 44 years old. So Tom and I are the same age. So like I look at the videos when he was 21, 22, 23, and like you realize that it's not about being ugly. You're just poor. Because look at Tom Brady now and look at Tom Brady then. Tom Brady's a rich man, looks like a supermodel. Tom Brady then was not. He was rich, but he wasn't as rich as he is now. And he's a totally different looking dude. Yeah, I mean, a totally different looking dude. I mean, he's chiseled. His jawline is there. His hair is perfect. Like Brady designed this look versus where he was back in the day, which was a really unathletic and not that attractive guy.
Right. He's worked. His mechanics are better now. I mean, his form and his release is quicker. I mean, his release is quicker and his form is better. I mean, gets a great torque with the shoulder hits. You know, and I think he's throwing harder than he did when he was a younger man. But
look, I'm 44, and I can tell you that if you do invest in yourself, I mean, I've been boxing now for 4 years, and I'm in the best shape that I've ever been in. And it's if you commit because you understand what work is. I think for so long when I was in my 30s and 20s, like if I was living in Des Moines, I had no idea what work was. I would go into the gym and do 30 minutes, and like I didn't have any real knowledge of what it took to actually get yourself to a good place health-wise, and what you should be eating and sleeping and water and all the things that come into play. You're like, I'm young, who cares? And then one day you wake up when you're 40 years old and you're like, things aren't going very well in the right direction. I had a 40-year-old checkup. My doctor looked at all my numbers and was like, yeah, we don't like any of these numbers. Like, this is not good. And so I changed my life, and I started doing a variety of different things. And Brady just found that through plyometrics and all the other stuff that he's been doing. He just has become a much more adept and smart person. And don't forget the rules in the NFL. You can't touch the dude. So he stands
We have a dog of the day. It looks like. Do you mind if we
No,
give our
Dog of the day.
All right, here we go.
Now,
It's a-
There it is. Patriots +3. I love it. This is the side I'm on. I'm on the Patriots side.
full blown Chihuahua or mix? Is that dog a Chihuahua or a mix?
full-blown Chihuahua. Oh yeah,
very
not the
cool.
Chihuahua. Probably the nicest Chihuahua you'll ever meet.
I've got
You
two.
got two?
I've got two. So I've got a Chihuahua and a Italian Greyhound mix, and I got a Chiweenie, a Chihuahua and
I have to have one of
a
those.
Dachshund
Just
mix.
for the name.
Yes, Chiweenies. So I've got two dogs.
I got a pit bull, but she beats up the pit bull. She beats up the pit bull.
Yeah. Chihuahuas are not to be messed with. They are little and mean.
No.
What
Here's one right here.
do you guys say? A few more questions, and we'll give away the play of the day, free play.
Do it.
I have
Another free play.
my question's about the advent of mobile sports gambling and just how popular it is for the average person now. How much do you think the popularity of mobile sports wagering has affected the betting industry, and how much does it affect the way you, as a sports bettor, look at wagering now, factoring in all the more people who are wagering via their phone?
I don't think it matters until we get into a place where the Wire Act is gone and we actually can bet into different states. So it really depends upon like what state you live in. So like the Iowa betting lines are primarily the same, but the handle and the interest in certain games are different. So if you're operating in a Nevada environment where basically there's more professionals and there's more high casino type players who are able to take their casino winnings and roll it over into a sports book, it's different in a state like Iowa or Indiana, or where there aren't so many high roller big type players.
A bit more casual.
Yeah, a bit more casual, who bet on their phone, who are betting $25 like crazy. So like until I see line movement in lines in different markets, I don't think the mobile wagering, all it does is add to the handle. I don't think it impacts the actual lines all that much. The pros are still the ones who are going to move the number. And the books are still looking at those professionals for the ones to which direction to move the number. So they put their number up, say Circa Sports here in Vegas. They put their number up first. Pros come in, help to sharpen the line, tell the books where they're right or wrong. And then the other markets and jurisdictions, people then kind of get to follow along.
Follow suit.
Yeah, how that's going. So if we ever do take the Wire Act down, and we can bet in different jurisdictions, now it's a whole different story. Now, if you have a pro who can bet the Iowa State Cyhawk game being here in Nevada, better line potentially in Iowa than here in Vegas, that would be a game changer if we're able to do that.
Fantastic. And I mean, it's really opened up a lot of people to just looking at the games with different eyes as they are playing on their phone.
A show like this. Okay. So what you guys are doing, talking about games, talking about lines, breaking things down. This is what I've told anybody who, I just recently left radio and I went to, now I'm doing basically full-time this type of content where it's sports gambling content on the internet. And I've told people who have asked me like, why did you do that? You were 20 years in and you left radio. Is because I really believe this is the future. I believe that on-demand content and how people are doing things on the internet is what that they want. They want to be entertained. You guys are throwing up cool graphics and grabbing dogs and having fun and enjoying it. I think people love that. That's what they want. And for the people who have been in sports talk forever, the bomb-throwing media, the Aaron Rodgers sucks conversation just because Aaron Rodgers, whatever, has long hair or whatever you want to get into, like that stuff now is dead. And like the people who I grew up listening to, Mike and the Mad Dog in New York or Mike and Mike and whatnot, like the hot take brigade their time is up. Like people just are bored by it. And they want to talk about things that are more analytically driven. And frankly, they want to talk about what's going on the field. And they don't want to get into the off the field stuff because it all does is polarize and rip us apart from the sport that we love. So I just think sports gambling content has come on at a perfect opportunity and a perfect time. And I do think there's going to be, we're only in the first inning, if we're even in the first inning, for what we'll see here coming up down the pike.
Totally agree. Anthony, any last questions for Matt before we give away a free play?
I put the free play up.
Oh, okay.
Uh-oh.
Did you?
You guys are both gonna love it. So
all right, I'm gonna roll the transition. Here we go.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, every show we give away one free play. Oh, okay, this is right. We're hitting Matt where he lives. I know he's got a 6-point teaser going today with the Chiefs. I think.
I have so many teasers. I have so much going on this game. I just went to New Jersey. Speaking of free play, I went to New Jersey, and every book I loaded gave me free bet. I just put them all on Patriots. Like nice. I have Patriots money line. Patriots -2. Sorry, +2. I have Patriots +3. I have Patriots +9. It's ridiculous what I have so much on. So in this teaser, Patriots +9 and take the under 46.5. I've got that teaser. I mean, yeah, I'm riding all this.
How does this lose? How does this possibly lose?
Yeah,
over. How it loses is over.
It goes over. Yep, some defensive touchdown.
Yep,
couple defensive touchdowns.
Fumbles, pick sixes,
yep.
weird, wonky things happen. That's how
crazy.
it goes over.
Block kick for a touchdown. But yeah, I would have done the same thing with the Dolphins. Give me. I'll bet against Mike Glennon every day of the week.
Yeah, I pulled Miami down to a half, and I took took Washington, almost called them the Washington football team, and I put them up to 7.5. That was a teaser I did on Sunday that hit.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. Matt, thanks again. Catch Matt Daily Juice on the Betting Pros YouTube channel, which is where I watch him every morning. It's there when I wake up, and it's, you get great knowledge. I love the UFC commentary too. That's where I get my advice. Daily Juice with Matt Perrrault, of course, is Betting Pros and Fantasy Pros. All have great content. I love the Dan Harris and Yates and Harris content, and Joe Pisapia. Great stuff. And Matt, thank you once again for coming on Maximum Edge, and hopefully we'll see you again.
Anytime, guys. Happy holidays. Thanks for having me.
Happy holidays. Thanks.
Thank you.
And I'm the team captain. He's the preview, and I'm the main attraction.
Unstoppable, unconquerable, on top of the world, accomplishing the impossible. Unstoppable, unconquerable, on top of the world, accomplishing the impossible.
Invincible hustle, mighty desire to conspire, to transpire.